Hi everyone, it's me, Lindsay with EquipMeOT, here today to talk about how to sleep and get comfortable in a resting position following a C-section or other major abdominal surgery. So C-sections are common and often don't have a lot of information provided on how to get comfortable for rest and sleep after that incision is made. A lot of folks have come to me asking, how do we do this safely and comfortably? So in this video, I'm going to show you some tips, tricks, and techniques, as well as some products that I really like that can make this process a lot easier during the early phases that are typically the most painful during the recovery. So let's go ahead and get started with the setup I have here. If you're going to be sleeping in bed, these are some of the tools that I recommend having in place. If you're watching this before you have your C-section for a planned C-section, great news, you can get these things in place before you come home. If you're watching this after, no worries, you can still find these items really relatively easily. I'm going to have links down below in my description where you can find all of these. So the first one I really like is a standard bed rail. This bed rail I like. It's nice and soft and easy to install. It simply slides between your mattress and box spring. It's small in size, so it's not going to limit your ability to get around it to access things over here, like a bedstand or a bassinet or something that you may have next to the bed. But it also has this nice pouch, and having your pouch there so you can put things like your phone or other essentials can really prevent you from doing a lot of excess movement to kind of gather your supplies. So having something like a bed rail that not only supports moving around in bed, but also being able to access your essential supplies can be so helpful. And I'll show you how I use this for getting in and out of bed in just a second. Another tool that I think is absolutely essential for bed sleeping is some sort of elevation at the head. For most people with abdominal surgery recoveries, a wedge is a really good option. This wedge I like. It comes with two pieces. It actually comes with three pieces. It has a cervical support as well. I took that off for this situation as it wasn't particularly comfortable in my opinion. So I went ahead and just used these two pillows. And the nice thing here is you can get the elevation you want, kind of customize it to your preferences. And this would go on top of the mattress. You can also go with an alternate style wedge, which actually goes under the mattress. I know many returning from the hospital are so excited to sleep on their own mattress. They don't want to lay on some memory foam wedge. They want their own mattress. You can actually put these, they're called wellness wedges, and they go under the head of the bed, under the mattress, but elevate it. That elevation makes getting around in bed, moving and repositioning so much easier and more comfortable. Strongly recommend. If you don't have this, you can use what a lot of people love to refer to as a pillow mountain, where you create a wedge using stacks of pillows to kind of elevate at that extreme angle. Now, that is a great solution if that's all you have access to, but it does require a little bit more fussing as the pillows tend to shift and move. So I can't say enough positive things about having a bed wedge available to you if at all possible. Another thing that's very low cost and can be so valuable in this recovery or any abdominal surgical recovery is something called a bed ladder. Now, a bed ladder installs very easily. I have a video here that goes into a ton of detail about how to install and how to use a bed ladder for most effectiveness, and I recommend watching that if you're interested. This type of bed ladder is going to assist with that sitting up in bed so that you're not having to use those very tender, freshly surgically cut abdominal muscles. This is a great tool for that. The other thing I wanted to address is a tool that you may have come home from the hospital with, and that is an abdominal binder. One of the questions I get a lot is, can I sleep with an abdominal binder? And the answer is yes, but I don't recommend it. And most surgeons do not want you sleeping with any compression on, because while you sleep, there's a risk of it shifting, pinching, or causing problems around the incision that maybe you wouldn't notice until you wake up. During waking hours, an abdominal binder is perfectly fine. For a lot of people, it's a great comfort measure. But when you sleep and rest, I strongly recommend giving yourself a break from the abdominal binder. I'm going to go ahead and take this one off, because when you lay down, you'll find too that the abdominal binder tends to not be as effective. So this is my first step in getting comfortable in bed, is I'm going to take off my abdominal binder. Some folks will lay with it behind them so it's easier to get back on. I'm going to take it off entirely for the video, and I'm going to set it nearby. Since I have this nice pouch, I can put it right there so that it's ready for me when I go to get up from bed. All right, so let's talk about positioning. So a lot of folks want to know, can I sleep on my back? Can I sleep on my side? Can I sleep on my stomach? I'm going to show you a few techniques to get you into position with hopefully the best comfort. The key to this is using what's called the log roll technique. Log roll technique is basically a movement technique that goes from sitting edge of bed to laying down keeping your body in alignment. The twisting at the torso is what's going to cause a lot of that pain that is associated with movement after a kind of an incision of the abdomen. So I have another video here that shows a great more detail, but I'll show you what this looks like real quickly. But anytime you're doing a log roll, the idea is your shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles are all going to stay in alignment as you change position. Some people like to put a pillow between their knees to make this possible, but you don't have to. I keep my pillows nearby. This bed rail here and this wedge is going to make this so much easier for me. I'm going to use my feet to kind of help support me. As I come down onto my elbow, I'm going to bring my heels up. See, I'm trying to stay kind of aligned here, and then I'm going to roll onto my back. At this point, I can reposition, staying kind of aligned here, and now I'm laying on my back. You saw how much I used this bed rail. I can't state enough how helpful it is to have that extra grab point when you're doing that repositioning with a lack of abdominal control. Okay, so now that I'm on my back, I have this elevation from the bed wedge. If I'm going to sleep in this position, there's another thing I would recommend doing. In addition to having the pillow support you prefer behind your neck, I strongly recommend putting a pillow or two under your legs. For me, if I were to do this, I don't know about you, but I had a lot of swelling after pregnancy, and I was looking to get a lot of the swelling out of my legs and feet. Elevating my feet like this so that I can get the swelling out was hugely helpful, especially after surgery. Now, if you're going to just rest like this and you're not worried about swelling, you can move the pillows and let your feet kind of sink down. That's fine. But if you want to get swelling out, you do need to put the pillows down farther and get the feet elevated. But from this position, we can sleep soundly. Now, for those of you who are still looking for some comfort in their abdomen, it's still really tender, adding another pillow. So if I need another pillow, this is that pillow mountain. Adding a pillow across your abdomen for some very gentle support can feel so good. You know what works great is one of those nursing pillows. So those circular nursing pillows that you use can be really nice right here like this, just to rest over your incision abdomen, or the abdomen area where the incision is, to kind of give some gentle pressure. So this position here, just like this, arms across over a pillow, is really nice for a prolonged back rest. Now, for a lot of people, this isn't how they would naturally sleep. So they may be in this position for a little while and find themselves comfortable enough to rest, but to really get a sound sleep, most people want to sleep either on their side, and many want to sleep on their stomach. Let's show you how you can do some side sleeping following your C-section. It's very important to note that each person is going to experience this differently. Pain levels will vary greatly. Some people are going to be on their back for a week before they can even eventually get onto their side. Some people are on their side the same day as their surgery. It's very, very unique to each individual. For those of you who are ready to go onto your side, I recommend starting with a pillow between the knees so you can keep, again, that nice alignment and avoid unnecessary twisting. And you're going to try to do it very gently. I don't recommend going entirely up on your side on the very first go around. You'll notice I have this big body pillow here. The body pillow is really nice in preventing me from accidentally rolling back onto my back. Now, I have my wedge still in position. You could get rid of the wedge at this point if you wanted to, but I actually find it quite comfortable. You're going to take the other pillow here and you're going to hug it. And you're going to roll, just like you did with your log roll, up onto your side. Now, I'm not fully 90 degrees onto my side like this. I'm still leaning back a little bit onto the pillow here. This side lying position with this pillow here, I'm going to hug it, but I don't want to mess my mic up. So I'm going to hug the pillow here, is pretty darn comfortable and gives me a similar sensation to side sleeping. I am a side sleeper, and this feels a lot like how I like to sleep. If you are ready to then venture all the way up onto your side, listen to your body. If the incision feels too tender for this, stay here until you can feel like you can go all the way up onto your side. But when you're ready to go all the way up onto your side, I still recommend keeping that pillow between your knees and a pillow at your abdomen. And then you can start to venture into a more side-lying position like this. Having the pillow behind me, though, I cannot say enough how much this helps me feel secure. And so I don't feel like I'm going to accidentally roll or jerk one way or another during my sleep. So I'm really hugging the pillow between the knees, pillow behind my back. If you slept with a pregnancy pillow, the ones that go around your body, keeping those on hand for a recovery can be so helpful too, because they really do kind of fill that whole space. All right, so that would be my side sleeping recommendation. with or without the wedge. Now we're going to go and we're going to mention the stomach sleep. This, unfortunately, I have bad news. For the first several weeks following your C-section, you're not going to be cleared to sleep on your stomach, primarily because that incision is just far too fresh and the risk of putting that much pressure on it would be very uncomfortable. Also, it is not uncommon for women to experience breast tenderness following delivering a child, and therefore laying on your stomach really isn't an option either way. So stomach sleep, unfortunately, you're probably going to have to wait 3 to 4 weeks before you can do it. And for a lot of women, it's 6, 7 weeks before they feel fully comfortable laying on their stomach again. But good news is you will eventually get there. I do want to mention, I hope you saw I use that here. When you're getting up from those seated positions, you're going to use your bed ladder like this. And I don't have to do that crunching motion with my abdomen. I can use my bed ladder like this. So again, having these resources in position in bed so that you can move around with relative ease to care for yourself and care for your new little one can make such a difference in your recovery process. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. And if you need more information like this on how to stay comfortable, safe, and independent in your home, consider subscribing to EquipMeOT. Thank you.